Okay, get ready with me for my first date as a single 21-year-old mom. I am doing a dating series where I go on one date a month for the entire year. Hopefully I won't have to do that. Hopefully I'll find someone. Tonight is my first date though. I feel like I have so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start. But I'm first gonna use this and we're gonna do my makeup. I've already done my hair and I've showered. A lot of people have been asking where I am meeting these guys, and the answer is literally just like wherever. I feel like they're all like so random. Like the guys that I've lined up are like either friends of friends or I've met them before. Like tonight I met him one night when I was out with my cousin and he wanted to take me out, so now we're going out. But like also like Hinge, you can find guys on Hinge. Like there are so many ways that you can find guys, and sometimes you just have to create the situation. Like I was out to eat the other night with my aunt, and like she's the most social person ever, so I did have her as like my wing woman. But just go and talk to people. Like life is so short, nothing matters. Go make the situation. I feel like I should talk about like what I'm looking for in a guy. And as a single mom, it does look a little bit different because I think that my standards have to be a lot higher. Like, not that they weren't before, but like, I just think that whoever I'm bringing into my life, I'm also eventually going to bring into Grwn's life, and I want the best. Like, whoever this is, whoever this person ends up being, is going to be a huge part of my son's life. So I just need to make sure that they're an amazing person. I just honestly really want a guy that is family oriented, puts God first in their life, is really like a hard worker and is driven. And I obviously like want someone that's social. I think that I've always been attracted to people that are very social and good at talking, even though like it wouldn't be like terrible like if they were shy. But I do tend to like guys that are a little bit more outgoing. I also think that lifestyle really matters when I'm dating, because like I can't be dating someone that doesn't have a lifestyle that's gonna be okay with having like a kid in the picture, if that makes any sense. Like I can't have someone that wants to travel and party all the time. Like that's just like we wouldn't work, you know what I mean? Because like my priority is Grwn first. He's everything. Like all of my time, all of my energy needs to go to him, and this person is also gonna have to understand that they're second to Grwn. And so I think it just makes it a little bit more difficult, but I also like the right guy like will come, and I'm trusting in God's plan and his timing. And I think with dating, you also just you learn from the dates that you go on and the people that you meet. Like last month, I didn't document it, but I did go on dates with someone, and ultimately our lifestyles were just completely different, that it would have never worked. It was definitely fun, but like I just knew it wasn't gonna last. With this whole thing, like my goal is to challenge myself and like just push myself to like be more social, and like I feel like you can learn so much from meeting different people, and like you learn what you like so that you do end up with what you really want. And I feel like it's just good to meet guys so that you know what you want in the end. And it's just like so fun to date. Like you get to go out, you get to have a good time, you get to have a drink, you get to try out new places, and like maybe you'll like him, maybe you won't, doesn't matter. Nowadays I'm so glad that social media exists, because most of the guys know that I already have a kid, or like they watch me on social media or like something, I don't know, or they look me up on Instagram, like they're gonna know I have a kid. Like I'm not just gonna have to like drop that ball at dinner, you know what I mean? So that's good. And like also Hinge, like if you're using Hinge, then like they know I have a kid because I'll put it on there. But yeah, so I shouldn't have a problem with that. It's gonna be so fun sharing with you guys though, because maybe I'll have some crazy experience, some crazy terrible date, or some crazy amazing date. Like, you never know. You'll have to stay updated. And I know there are so many single moms that follow me on this page, and like, here's to like, your life isn't over when you have a kid and you're not with the dad. Like, your life is not over. There's so much life to live, so much fun to be had. So for tonight, there was a change of plan. Oh my gosh, look what I just said. Anyways, tonight there was a change of plans. We're going to, he got invited from where he works. He's in real estate. And there's this new restaurant that is doing like a grand opening. It's like a upscale Thai restaurant. So I'm really excited. I think it'll be a cool experience. I know that they have like a bar inside. There's like fun drinks. I kind of looked at the menu. There was like some good looking food. So I definitely think it's going to be a great time. I'm doing so much more makeup than I usually would. Like, this is a lot of makeup. I feel like it's a fancy place, so I don't want to underdress. So I'm just gonna dress fancier. So then I'm not underdressed. You can always be overdressed. So I'm gonna post an outfit video, so you have to watch that video after this. I don't know what other makeup to do. Maybe some blush and some highlighter, and then call it a night. I'm not gonna say that I'm not nervous, because I'm definitely a little bit nervous. Like, it's definitely out of my comfort zone doing this. So, like, I'm happy I'm doing it, but like, I am a little bit nervous. Okay, some more bronzer. Okay, just did some highlighter. I have to put my outfit on. I still need to put my lip liner, lipstick. I'm gonna do all that before I leave, but I'll keep you guys updated. Oh my gosh. Ah! Stay tuned and come watch the outfit video.
Get ready with me while I explain how my stalker just threatened me and my boyfriend. Okay, so I'm not gonna name drop this person, obviously, because I am slightly worried about it. I'm pretty sure that I have him blocked on this account, so we should be okay. In elementary school, there was this kid. He was 2 years older than us, and he joined our class when we were in 3rd grade. He had been held back a bunch, which, like, obviously, like, it's no big deal, but he had been held back 2 times, and so he ended up in our grade, because in 3rd grade, I think you're, what, like, 9, and he was 11. He had always been kind of weird with me and the other girls in our class, like, this being after he had been in our class for a little bit, making comments about, like, wishing that he could see us in clear bathing suits and, like, things along those lines that you wouldn't, you know, necessarily be expecting to hear as a 3rd grader. Me and my friends kind of felt bad for him, though, because the people in the grade above us were really mean to him, and we didn't understand why. We quickly realized why. And so we tried to be friends with him, but then, you know, like I said, he started making really weird comments towards us. Everything remained pretty much the same with him until about, I think it was like 5th or 6th grade, when he would like start making even weirder comments and like tried to teach us about sex and like about things in regards to that, and always was curious about like whether or not we were on our period and stuff like that. So skip ahead to it was 8th grade. I had to stay in like the school's after hours care so my parents could come pick me up. And he, at this point, still really liked to hang out with me and things along that line. And so I still felt bad, and so I would hang out with him in this after school care. Mind you, we were in 8th grade, and at the time, I'm 14. He's 16. He can drive. So my parents come and pick me up, and he gets in his car and follows me home. I was unaware of this at the time, obviously, that I was being followed home, and it wasn't until like a couple weeks later that I started to notice his car down the street from my house. Eventually, skipping ahead to freshman year of high school, I ended up getting in a relationship with this guy a month or two into freshman year, and he's unrelated, but the stalker really, really did not like that I was in a relationship with somebody. He would be like, oh, he's not gonna treat you well, which he didn't, but that's besides the point. And so the stalker kept texting me, and I texted him and was like, okay, if you're gonna keep texting me like this, like, I'm gonna have to block you. Like, this is making me uncomfortable, and So he ended up, like, being pretty chill, and I didn't end up having to block him while I was in that relationship. This relationship ended, like, just barely into sophomore year. After said relationship ended, he texted me saying that he found out from a mutual friend that I was single again. He asked if we could meet up and talk about it and maybe be friends. To which I responded that I would prefer to not. And at this time, I was working at a nursing home in our community. He somehow found out again that I was working at this nursing home and would be in the parking lot of the nursing home at the end of my shifts. I get into a relationship with my current boyfriend December of sophomore year. So after me and my boyfriend got together, I hadn't heard anything from this guy for a little while. I would see him in public at random, like at gas stations or at the local Walmart or things like that. But like, it was always kind of weird, but like, it wasn't anything I was necessarily worried about. This was until this one day that I was at Target. I was in the beauty section, and somebody behind me starts talking, and they're like, oh my god, Emily, like, there you are. So I turned around and I was like, oh my god. And he starts following me around in the store, talking to me. I'm not responding, and we're in the beauty section, and he sees a lip plumper, and he's like, do you think this would make my plump? So I continued to ignore him, and after that I had gotten like pretty uncomfortable, so I walked up to this random guy, because of course this is one time that I go out without my boyfriend, but I walk up to this one random guy and I'm like, hey, it's time to go home, right? And he was like, and I was like, it's time to go home. And so he helped me. He took me to the front desk, and the stalker had kind of let me be at this point. And so the service desk was like, okay, like, you can pay for your stuff here and then you can leave. And so I paid for my stuff, and I start walking to my car, and then I realize I see my stalker on the driver's side door of my car. I go back in and I get security, and security walks me to my car, and since then I haven't heard anything from him until this morning. This morning, me and my boyfriend wake up to a text on my boyfriend's phone from this guy. I will insert an image right here of the text that he received. So he's basically like threatening me and my boyfriend, saying like, oh, you're so controlling, you won't even let your girlfriend have guy friends. Mind you, my boyfriend is the furthest thing from controlling, and he doesn't give a shit who I'm friends with or what I do, because he's not that kind of guy. And so like, this is all just completely out of the blue, and he's like making threats that I probably shouldn't say on TikTok, and he's like calling my boyfriend names, and my boyfriend's just like, at this point, you know, we both reported his Snapchat account, and now I'm kind of just scared to go home. So yeah, that's the story, the very lengthy story of how the stalking started, how it is continuing to progress, and yeah.
Story time of how I found out my boyfriend was cheating on me the entire time we were together. This happened about 2 months ago, right before the holidays, which was so fun to go back home and my mom tell everyone that I got cheated on. But this happened around, like, I want to say almost 2 months to the day. December, I don't know, like 9th or something. We had been dating for 5 months. I was finally getting in deep with him. Like, I had met his family. I had said I love you. I was a little apprehensive about getting into a relationship. He was religious, and I had just gotten out of a really abusive relationship. I'm still in therapy for that previous relationship. So I was just like, I don't know, dude. He somehow convinced me to get into this relationship. It genuinely was a good relationship. He was nice, and there was like, I'm saying nice as like, nice is the fucking bare minimum. Okay, sorry. It was a good relationship though. I just didn't get to see him very often because I live up here in our college town. We met in classes. He goes to the same college as me. He was a commuter kid. He lived 40 minutes down south of me. But his church, he did Sunday school. He was religious, yeah. Was up at my, like, school. So his classes were up there. I was up there. His church was up there. And then he calls me one day and he goes, guess what? And I go, what? He goes, I got a job up there. He's going to work at the Waffle House. And in my head, I'm so excited because if he's up here for just one more thing, that just is one more thing that he's going to be up here to see me. If he works really late, he's not going to want to drive 40 minutes to drive up the next day. He's going to want, I'm 10 minutes down the road. He's going to want to come spend time with me. Love that. And then he goes, can I spend the whole weekend with you? And I was like, see, my plan is already working. My plan is working. So I was like, of course. He came up for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, by then I found out he was cheating on me, so whatever. Saturday was going to be his first day on the job, and he was up here all weekend, and usually my time to be with my friends is during the weekend. I work all week. I do classes all week, so I was like, oh, I'm really happy he's up here the whole weekend, but I have to miss out on going to the bars. I have to miss out going out with my friends, doing a girls' night, whatever it is. And I see my roommates, and it's Saturday night, and they're getting ready for the bars, and I'm like, and he's at work, and I was just like, I'm gonna be alone, and I'm just gonna stay here because my boyfriend's here, and I don't want to be one of those girls. So I text him, and I say, how would you feel about celebrating your first day on the job, going out with my roommates, out to the bars? Fully expecting him to say no. I never, this was the one and only time I ever saw him drink socially. I had seen him like 2 or 3 times, maybe, drink a glass of wine with dinner, but he did not drink. And it wasn't, I don't know. He didn't have anything against it because I went to the bars, I partied, I love dancing, I love drinking. I'm a college girl who's hot and 21, like, and now single, like, yeah, I'm gonna go out, okay? But he says yes. He goes, yeah, I'd love to go out. And I was like, oh my fuck. So I went to my roommates and I was like, okay, we have to act nonchalant because we're gonna scare him away, and then I don't get to see my friends and all this stuff. So after his work, he came home, the 4 of us, my 2 roommates, me and him, go out to the bars, and I was fully expecting like let's go to the dive bar, let's have a beer, let's chit chat. Somehow we end up, it's not like full club, but like on the dance floor, it's this underground kind of clubbish vibes. He's putting back drinks like I have never seen, but like he has never drank a day in his life, which I know is not true because he drank in high school, but like he was putting back drinks. I'm like, do you understand how alcohol works? Like, I drink a drink, you gotta wait a little bit, feel out the vibes, go up to the bar, it's gonna take him. This is him, vodka Grwn. And then on her, keep in mind, I'm paying for these. But I was matching him because I was like, if he's, I don't know, probably like 70 pounds heavier than me, like almost not a foot taller. He was like 8 inches taller than me, like 70 pounds heavier. So I was like, okay, my tolerance is good, but he's a bigger guy. So I feel like our alcohol levels should kind of even out. Boy, was I wrong. We go to the next bar, whatever. Eventually he's like, I have work in the morning. My roommate was DD that day, so we get into her car. His head is out of her window. So we're driving home, and I'm just like, don't throw up in my roommate's car. Like, for everything that is holy about you, don't do this. We don't even pull up into the parking lot. Before we even get to the parking lot and we're like out front of our apartment, I drag him out. I'm like, drop us off right here. We sprint, I don't even know. We teleported up to my room, and I got him into my bathroom, and I was like, okay, go throw up. Does he throw up in my toilet? No. Why would he do that when he can throw up in my sink? The next morning, I was like crying about getting cheated on and like scoop it. Oh, disgusting. Whole thing, disrespectful, first of all. No. He's really drunk at this point. His head's in the toilet. I made sure he's on his side. He has water, whatever. He just wanted some space. My bathroom, right there. my bed right there. So I was like, if you need anything, just, you don't even have to like say my name, just be like, make a little noise and I will come help you. I'm about to cozy up into bed. Oh, about to cozy up. I look over, I see his phone. Now I've been trying to get into his phone for a little bit, and then about this week is like that week where all that was happening, I started getting this feeling like, okay, it's a little too difficult to get his phone. Like at first it was, oh, let me just make sure his phone, he's not doing anything like that. And then it became, why is he going to the bathroom with his phone? Why is he taking a shower? Why can't I get into his phone? And something about me is if I get into a relationship, I'm checking their phone. It's one of like, I know your politics, I know your exes, I know your love languages, I know what you're doing on your phone. I'm being fully transparent, they can do that to me. I'm not hiding anything, I don't care. Somehow he snuck around me checking his phone. I don't know how he got out of that. So what do? I open Snap because a week before, okay, don't judge me on this one. A week before I said, can I look at your Snap? Because I was like, I can't get on his phone. I'm just going to ask him, whatever. I was like, can I look at your Snap? And he goes, he goes, do you really want to do that? Scared. There were so many signs. So I go on his phone, I'm pinned as his number 1 on Snap, and I see most of his best friends list is girls, and I was like, oh, fuck my life, okay. I just go to, like, the next girl after me on the best friends list, and I open their conversation. Why are there booty pics from the day before? Why am I scrolling through? And just scandalous photo after scandalous photo for the last few months. And I'm like, oh my fuck. So I go to my roommate's low-key a stalker. She... like, if someone has, like, one more follower than they did the day before, she's like, oh my gosh, you're following this person now? Oh, I saw you guys talking. Whatever. She's crazy. So I run to her room. I give her his phone. I tell her the passwords. And I'm like, go through everything. Everything. I come back into my room. I confront him. He's on the toilet. I kind of nudge him. I'm like, you're cheating on me. Like, you're cheating on me. I felt like Tana Mojo right there. Oh my gosh. Story times. But, like, you're cheating on me. The fuck? And he's like, and I know he's not that drunk. This is like 45 minutes after we came back. He's already thrown up. Like, yeah, you're probably like in between drunk, but you're not. You can talk. He could talk the whole time. So he's pretending to be more drunk because he's probably embarrassed. He doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know what I know. So he goes, where's my phone? And I go, oh, he didn't say it like, he goes, where's my phone? And I go, you'll get your phone back when my roommate's done going through it. Okay, like, first of all, no. My roommate proceeds to go through his phone for the next 2 hours. Call logs, FaceTimes, DMs, iCloud accounts, Gmails, locations, like favorite, like recently viewed history. I don't know. 2 hours worth of stuff. I have over 100 screenshots of his phone. But at this point, I'm so like, I can't be in the same room as my roommate because she's just finding thing after thing after thing. And all I really know is I saw those pictures. Eventually, 2 of my guy friends come over because I was, like, filming him and, like, posting on my private being, like, he's, like, headed in the toilet, like, and I have, like, flash on. I was like, yeah, bitch, you better throw up, bitch, yeah. So my 2 guy friends come over. They weren't gonna, like, beat him over. Like, they came for my moral support. Me, my roommate who wasn't going through the phone, and then my 2 guy friends are here. He's in the bathroom. He's right there, door wide open. And I'm just like, yeah, like, I'll text his mom. Like, what should I say? Or, like, I was like, yeah, I got the number of this girl. Like, I wonder what I should tell her. And eventually I said, wait, how do you post a picture to a public Instagram or whatever? Like, he's hearing all this, like, oh my fuck. So that one got him out. And he was like, wait, where's my phone? Blah, blah, blah. He gets his phone. I go into the living room, start talking with him. I don't know much. I don't know the extent of which he did everything, okay? And he denied it to the very end. He denied cheating on me. When I caught him in a lie, he just denied that it was ever physical. And yeah. The next morning, I went through all the screenshots. Turned out he had come from another girl's house after they hooked up. He had been going out on dates. He was on Tinder. He was on Hinge. He was hanging up my nightly FaceTime calls to call other girls. There was over 25 different women. He was sleeping with some. He had results from Planned Parenthood that weren't that good. All this stuff the entire time we were dating. And yeah, I blocked him on everything. He tried like reaching out a few times after we broke up. Quickly denied that one. So yeah, I'm glad I made this into one part. There's so many other little details, but maybe I'll do another in-depth video like another time in my life. But yeah, this is a sign. Never trust a man. Made for a good story time in the end, so I'm not too mad. But what the heck?
Get ready with me while I tell a story about this girl I made friends with at my new job. Okay, so basically I got a new job, and during my first day I met this girl who also started on the same day as me. So we were both going through like training and all of that at the same time. Now during this time I didn't really have a lot of friends, so when I met her I was like, because we were the same age, I was like, this is literally my perfect opportunity to start making friends again. So I'm just gonna kind of like flash forward to when we stopped being friends, because I feel like you guys don't need to know my whole like story of how we actually did become friends. But basically I kept my guard down like so bad. Like I did not tell this girl anything about my personal life because I didn't really have very much trust in people at this time, and it's honestly a really good thing that I didn't give her too much information about my life. But at the same time, like, if I could go back, I wouldn't have told her a single thing. So it went from us just being friends at work and just talking and joking at work to we started hanging out a little bit. Like, we went shopping one time, actually a few times we went shopping. She came over to my house a few times, and we also went and like got coffee and took pictures together. But things all started going downhill when she started going to the club. Now at this time I had never been to the club. This is still like the first time I ever went to the club, and I probably won't go back because of this, or at least until like I'm old enough to drink at the club, because honestly that's kind of where probably all of this started to go wrong. So one time she asked me to go to the club, and I was like, yes, let's go. Like, I've never been. I definitely want to try that. Like, it sounds so fun. But I didn't really trust her all that much, because one thing I started to learn about her, the more I just let her talk about her life and just kept my life more private, was that she was very male-centered. Now, I say that because anytime she would talk about anything, it would always be about a guy. There was always something to do with a guy, and we're servers, so anytime a guy would walk in, she would talk about how cute they were, or like just how like she knew that they thought she was attractive, or like how they would say stuff to her and just stuff like that. And I have a boyfriend, so that wasn't really like I just never cared. And it got to the point where I just knew that she was just lying. Like, she was just constantly lying to me. There was even a point where, like, this other girl we worked with ended up quitting because she just couldn't, like, anytime that girl would start talking to somebody, the girl I'm talking about would say that she's done stuff with that guy, or like, oh, like, I know that guy, we did stuff, like, just any time. Okay, so at this point in the story, I probably need to give, like, a fake name because it's gonna get confusing. We'll just call her Rose. So one night, Rose is like, oh, let's go out to the club on Saturday. And I'm like, okay, let's go. So we plan this whole thing. We're gonna go to her apartment, and we're gonna do a little pregame, and then we'll go out. And then I was supposed to stay the night there, but obviously with how the night went, that was not happening. So I ended up getting like kind of like nervous to go, so I ended up asking if I could invite one of my other friends so we would have a group instead of just us two. So of course she said yes, and then the night comes. We have work at 6, or I have work at 6:30 the next day, but my mindset was like, I'm still gonna go to work. I'm just gonna have to do it tired. Like, that's literally that was my plan. So I get to her apartment, and we are waiting for my friend to get there, and she has like a bottle, and we're just sitting there getting ready. You know, it was such good vibes, and I was like so excited. I couldn't wait to go to the club with her. We're playing music, like we're laughing, we're making jokes, like we're doing our makeup together. It was very, like, it was just like a girl friendship that I never really had. Then flash forward, my friend gets there. Me and her had already taken like a few down. Like we were not really waiting because we were like, okay, we can just take a few, because we were drinking like, we were mixing it. So it was like, we wouldn't even be like done before the other girl got there. Okay, so then flash forward to when we're leaving. We obviously had to get an Uber, and she ended up telling me that her card wouldn't work and that she thought it was like locked, which at this time didn't come off sketchy to me because we both made like really good money at our jobs. So I didn't think that like, you know, she would like use me for money. So I'm like, whatever. I put my card in. I ordered the Uber off of her phone because she already had it open and it was time for us to go. So whatever, I put my card in, she orders the Uber, we get in the Uber, and we're having a great time. Our Uber driver is so nice, he's not creepy, we get to the club, we're having a great time. Mind you, I told her that I wanted to be back home by like 1 the latest. So obviously that's not really how it went. We ended up meeting these 2 other people, and it was like a guy and a girl, and they were like best friends, but the whole time they're like kind of flirting with each other. Honestly, they're like dancing together, and it just kind of like, to me, even if I didn't have a boyfriend, it gave like I wouldn't step on her toes because she clearly had something with this guy. And at this point we're like dancing, we're hanging out with these people. She like is telling me and my friend to get on this, like there was like little elevated spots where you could like stand, and like she wanted us to be like the center of attention. So she like made us go over there, and we were having a great time. Like there was no complaints. Like we were meeting all these people, and like they were all so nice. It just didn't give any creepy vibes. We were just having a good time. Then me and my friend end up losing Rosie. Then when we find her, she's with that guy that I mentioned earlier that had that girl with him. So me and my friend are just doing our own thing. We low-key like left her behind, and she just did her own thing. We did our own thing. And then there's like warnings like of like what time it is. Like the DJ is like saying like, oh, it's 1 a.m. Oh, it's 2 a.m. Safe to say, by the time we left, it was because they were closing. So at this point, it is 3 a.m. and they're closing, and they're telling everybody to leave because they're closing. And we go upstairs, and then we eventually get kicked out because the security's like, you guys can order your Uber outside, like you gotta go. Okay, then we're outside and we're ordering the Uber. She's saying her card isn't working again. So I'm like, whatever, I just want to go home. Like, I'll just order it. Like, let me see your phone. Let me put my card in. That's when she tells me that she doesn't need me to put my card in because it's already saved. And I look over her shoulder and I see that my card number is in her Apple Wallet under a different name. And I'm just sitting there like, what is going on? Like, who told you could save my card number? I didn't think I would have to tell you to delete my card number. But since we work together, I figured like there's no way she would do anything with it because I would just be able to confront her right then and there. So I just sat with my card locked for the next few days. But that's not even the worst part. We're walking down the street in this college town, and we're waiting for our Uber. Then this random guy comes out of literally like nowhere with his friend. And we're just like, he like comes up to us and he's like, oh my gosh, like, do you guys need a ride home? And we're just like, no, we have an Uber. Me and my friend say that. Rosie goes, yeah, we would love to get a ride from you guys. And I'm sure at that point you can imagine my reaction. I am pissed because it's like, you already paid for the Uber with my card, and then instead of just being like, oh, I'm gonna ride with them and go on my own little journey with 2 random people I don't know that literally just came out of nowhere, that could be kidnappers, that could be on drugs, that could be drunk, you say that we're all going, and I'm sitting there like, no, I'm not going. I'm getting in the Uber I already paid for. Go to part 2. Okay, part 2. So I'm just mad at this point because I am like, what are you getting us into? And again, like the male-centered thing is just like showing so hard. Because we had a perfectly good Uber to end a perfectly fine night, and you're over here just ruining it. Mind you, I didn't get to say this in the first part because I totally forgot, but literally leading up to this, like, we were going to get outfits together after work one day, and she had, like, a whole ass man, and she was randomly telling me about how they had problems all of a sudden, and I'm just like, just break up with him then, because clearly, like, whatever lies she was feeding me about this guy, like, I don't know. It could have been a lie, it couldn't have been a lie, like, I really don't know, like, she just lied so much that it was so hard to, like, keep track of what was really going on. But at this point, I figured she was lying just so that she would have an excuse to do stuff with other people and not seem like she was cheating. But anyway, back to the story. We are walking up to this, like, parking garage and with this guy. And I'm texting my boyfriend, even though he's asleep, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, what do I do? Like, she canceled my Uber, and, like, in my mind, I wasn't thinking to just stop and just, you know, like, order my own Uber again. Like, I didn't even know where she lived, and where I lived, the Uber would be way too expensive. Plus, I was just, like, crashing out about the way that she was acting, that I didn't even, like, I wasn't thinking of solutions. I was just so mad. And my other friend was, like, talking to the original guy's friend, so I, like, knew that she wasn't going to, like, go with me. Like, she was just saying how she was scared, but, like, she was still talking to the guy. So I was like, at this point, my only option is to just go with my friends and hope that I don't die. So finally, we make it over to his car, and that's when things really started to scare me, because when we walk up into this parking garage, the first thing I see is a car with the trunk open. So I'm just like, no, like, we're cooked, we're literally getting kidnapped, they're gonna throw us in this trunk, like, and I mean, they weren't big guys, and they definitely looked around our age, but I was still scared. And as you probably guessed it, of course, the car was his. So we walk up to this car, and I'm literally, they're walking up, I'm backing away, because I'm like, have you guys not ever seen a scary movie in your life? Like, this is literally kidnapping 101, and I'm not trying to be a victim. So they're walking up, and I'm like, guys, I'm not doing this. Like, I start, like, freaking out, and I'm, like, telling them, like, no, they're gonna kidnap us. Like, let's get out of here. Like, let's save ourselves, you know, let's not be the stupid girls that get into a random car with random people we don't know. But, of course, like, they're not listening. And then at this point, like, he's opening the door for us to get in, and I literally look into the car. The whole back seat has, like, clothes and blankets, so I'm like, okay, yeah, you're gonna kill us, you're gonna wrap us up in that blanket, and then you're gonna put us in your trunk. Like, also, if you're picking up girls and, like, offering to take them home as play, you would think you would at least have a nice car, or a clean car at that. And then this guy is so scrawny, so I literally step back and I grab him by his little windbreaker jacket, and I'm like, are you on drugs? Because his pupils were literally huge. Like, I couldn't even see what color his eyes were because of his pupils being that big. And then I was like, are you drunk? Like, are you high? Like, what is going on with you? Like, who even are you? I don't even know your name. I'm not getting in your car. Literally, the lights in the, like, you know, like, in the back seat on their roof, there's, like, the little lights so you can see. It was busted out also, so I'm like, okay, so that's sign of a struggle. And then, like, so I tell him, like, I'm, like, asking him questions. I'm like, what is your name? Like, I don't even know your name. I'm not getting in your car. And then he's, like, he, like, introduces himself. I don't even remember what his name was. Oh, what the fuck? So, at that point, I'm like, yeah, no. But then, like, my friends are getting in the car. They're already in the car. I'm the only one outside the car. So, I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'll just get in. So, I get in. And then we are driving. Literally, the first turn he takes, literally drifts into the fucking curb. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I start actually praying to God. And then, we finally get home. We're safe. So I'm just like, I'm leaving instantly. So I leave, I go home, and like, I'm getting all my stuff, and she's just like saying that she had such a great time with us and we should do it again. And I'm literally, me and my friend are like, no, we are never doing this again. Honestly, we're never talking to you again. So on the way home, she's following me home, and at this point it had been like, I don't even know, so long since we started, you know. So we're on the phone on the way back home, and we're literally both just like, what the hell just happened? Like, genuinely, we both had never met somebody this, like, obsessed with guys and just, like, putting people in danger because you want to have a good time with some random guy. And also, he was not cute. So that was really, like, what got me is, like, you're going to put our lives in danger for somebody that's, like, literally below average. And then I'm just gonna skip ahead to, like, we were just mad at her. Like, we didn't talk to her. I go to work the next day off of literally 2 hours of sleep. And then a few days passed, and I got super sick, and I had COVID, and I didn't come to work for like 2 days. And she was like obsessed with going to the club at this point. So she was going for literally a bender, like just a whole week of just going to the club every night. And I had told my manager, like, when I came into work on Sunday about, like, what happened that night and how I was, like, really upset with her. And she was like, yeah, like, you shouldn't hang out with her anymore, probably. Like, just, you know, keep it just, like, a work-only type of friendship. And that was like, yeah, like, I totally agree. I don't think that I'll ever hang out with her again after that, because I just felt so, like, uncomfortable with the way that she didn't care about our safety. And flash forward to when I had the COVID, I came back to work, but the night before I was coming back to work the next day, she called me, and she was like, hey, I think that the managers are going to fire you because you don't have a doctor's note for being sick. And I was like, we work in the food industry. If I'm sick, I'm not coming to work. And I couldn't taste or smell, so I knew that I had COVID. So I was like, whatever. So I texted my manager, and I came to work the next day anyway, and I was like, I need to talk to you guys. Obviously, they didn't say anything to me when I came in or anything, but they could tell that I was pretty upset because I was scared that I was going to get fired, and I really liked my job, so I didn't want to get fired or anything. And we ended up talking, and she told me that this girl came into work and said that the reason I wasn't there was because we were out all night clubbing, and I couldn't come into work because I didn't go to bed. When in reality, I was sick and she was out clubbing, but she was going to work still. And I'm like, so anyway, she ended up getting fired because my manager knew that she was literally just a straight up liar. And like, literally that day, she was like clinging on to this new girl. And that's how I just knew, like, she knew we weren't going to be friends, because she knew I knew that she lied. But anyway, this is the finished makeup. This is why you shouldn't be friends with people at work, or at least not trust them, and don't go out with them.
Y'all, I'm back with a story time. So yesterday, I was at Harris Teeter, minding my business. Finished my shopping, was returning my cart, noticed that somebody was looking for a cart, so I gave it to him. It happened to be a gentleman. He needed a cart, so I was like, here, you can have this. He said, oh, thank you. And then immediately stopped me. He was like, oh, thank you. What's your name? I was like, okay, that's weird. But I was like, oh, my name's Andrea. And he shakes my hand and introduces himself to me. And I'm like, okay, great. Here's your cart, bye. But he talks to me for a little bit, and he's telling me that he's a principal at a high school and all these things and what he's going to do for the evening. And he'd love to, give me a call. I was like, okay, I'm single, new year, I'm trying to be open. So I give him my number, whatever. He calls my number, of course, as I'm standing right there. And he's like, okay, I got you locked in. I was like, okay, great. And I walk off. Whatever. So then I get a text message from the dude, and he's like, "Hey, this is such and such. It was nice talking to you. I'll be calling you at 10 o'clock." Now, this is 10 o'clock p.m. So dude ends up calling me at like 11 o'clock. And I shouldn't answer because 11 o'clock is too late. So that's on me. Should never answer the phone. So anyway, he calls. He's like, "Hey, thanks for giving us the opportunity to chat." I was like, "Oh, it was getting late." He was like, "No, at the grocery store, you gave me your basket and I looked at you. You were beautiful." And I was like, "Let me shoot my shot." I was like, "Oh, thank you, And I was like, "That was nice." He's like, "So what made you give me your number? You're not just giving your number out to everybody, are you?" One, that's my prerogative. Two, no, I'm not just giving my number out to anyone. I was like, "Well, you seem nice and I'm single, so why not give it a shot?" He was like, "Well, do you think I'm attractive?" I said, "Yeah, I don't really give my number out to people that I don't find some type of, level of attraction to." "Oh, because men, they need to know, just in case you didn't know, Andrea, men like to know when they are attracted. They like to be told that by women." And I'm like, oh God, here we go. I was like, well, the men I date, they don't need to know that. This is not a need. They realize that they are attracted because I am talking to them. And of course, I have nothing against telling a man he looks good, but why? Please, sir, I just met you. So red flag right there. I should have hung up the phone, but I didn't because I'm hard-headed. So then he starts, he tells me again about himself, and he's like, "So what do you want to know about me?" And I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" I was like, "So, how old are you?" "Well, that's the first thing you want to know?" "Yes, that's the first thing I want to know. How old are you?" He's like, "I'm 49. How old are you?" "You're 49 acting like this. I see why you're single. You're 49 talking crazy to a woman. You're not being gentle. You're not being soft. You're being very aggressive." So I told him how old I was, and he's like, "Okay." He's like, "What's next?" I was like, "Well, do you have any children?" He was like, "No, no kids. Do you?" I was like, "No, I have a dog and a cat. My animals, those are my babies." "So, Andrea, are you looking for marriage? Do you want to be married? Do you want to have children?" I was like, "Yes, I would love to be married. I'm a little weary on having children right now just because of the state of the world, the state of the country, the state of the climate, the planet." He was like, "Girl, what I got to do with you?" I was like, "What do you mean? What does that have to do with me? The state of the world?" He was like, "Donald Trump should not dictate what you do. You got to trust in God." I said, "Donald Trump doesn't dictate my life, but the things going on in the world, I am a little weary." Girl, what did he tell me? He was like, "You need to find a man that can be a good leader and trust in God." And what do you mean the planet? What about the planet? I was like, climate change. Storms are getting crazier. We are in a freshwater crisis. Things are just, our planet is having some difficulty right now. And bring me thinking, my foresight, me bring a child into this world and things are already spiraling downhill, I feel like is not appropriate right now. That's just my thoughts right now. Girl, why did I even say that? He said, "Girl, you crazy," and hung up the phone. I'm like, this man says he's a principal of a school with high schoolers and he can't even have a conversation about what's going on with the world or even try to see the impact that can have on children of the future. So dating is crazy. I'm not here for it right now. We'll try again. Today's a new day. Who knows? Well, did not think that video was going to blow up the way it did, but here we are. Welcome. I'm Andrea, and as y'all know, dating is crazy. But since we're all here, I did not expect it to blow up like that. I did not expect it to reach that many people as it's reached. People have questions, people, giving their opinions, great, whatever. But just to clarify some things, my conversation, my interaction with him in general, in total, was no more than 13 minutes tops, from grocery store, including phone call. That's it. I was not invested in getting to know this man like that. I wasn't invested in, I had no hopes or dreams for us. He was, I didn't leave the grocery store thinking I found the one. Absolutely not. But you never know. So I give things a try. Now, I know a lot of y'all said I was on the phone too long, and I was. I really wanted to hang up so quickly, But sometimes that personal life and my professional life can bleed into my personal. So sometimes I am just trying to gather information and understand why you talking like this and why you're the way you are. I'm intrigued and not in a good way. I was really trying to see what school he worked at so I could do a little bit more research, but we never got that far, clearly. Also, I'm young, I'm dating, I do what I want to do. It might not always work out, but I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. I thank you all for your advice and what you think I should have done, but I didn't. And here we are. Y'all got a good laugh out of it. I got a good laugh out of it. Trust me, I'm not hurt by this interaction. But I will continue to post as long as I keep dating. Y'all gonna keep getting stories. Y'all are gonna see my fitness journey. I am looking good, as you can see. Proud of that. So stick around. Who knows what you'll see.
Now that I'm really looking at him. Do you want to hear a story time about how my boyfriend of 6 years, my ex-boyfriend of 6 years, started dating my arch enemy? So we've got to start this story over 10 years ago. When I was 15, I started dating this guy. We broke up. He had cheated on me, blah, blah, blah. We were on and off for like a year. We broke up. This girl starts dating him. So he starts trying to cheat on her with me. He starts trying to get back together with me. So I sent her the messages immediately. I'm like, hey, girl, here's what your man's doing. She starts going around the entire school telling everyone I'm lying. This obviously pisses me off. She said that I somehow made these texts. And so I go to her classroom and I'm like, hey, babe, come outside. I'll show you the messages on the phone, like aren't screenshots. Like, come outside. She's like, no, you're lying. She's screaming at me. No, you're lying. No, you're lying. Whatever. They end up breaking up. Time goes on. She wants to become friends with me. I'm like, I'm a forgiving person. I'm like, okay, babe, let's be friends. So we start hanging out like all the time. And it feels like we're just so similar. I realize it feels like we're so similar because she's literally copying me. She dyes her hair red because I had my hair dyed red. She dyes her hair red. She starts wearing like similar outfits as me. Like, okay, whatever, cool. I love matching with my friends when they're actually my friends and it's on not on some weird shit. Anyway, so then I was dating a guy. We broke up at around this time when me and her were like besties, okay? I start dating this guy. We break up, okay? So me and her go to the fair together. And my ex-boyfriend is there. And she was like, can I use your ex-boyfriend to make my ex-boyfriend, which was my original ex, jealous? And I'm like, yeah, like I don't really give a shit as long as nothing happens between y'all. She's holding his hand, sitting in his lap, and our original ex-boyfriend is nowhere to be found. So I finally pull her to the side and I'm like, hey, babe, this is making me pretty uncomfortable. She pretends like she doesn't hear me. So I get my other friends to take me home because I'm mad now. They start dating. They pop out, start dating. I'm like, oh, okay. So me being, I was a little bit evil when I was younger. So I steal him back. What do you mean? Don't be weird. I steal him back, okay? He breaks up with her. Me and him get back together for a little while, yada, yada, yada. Me and him break up again. So then I start seeing, this is now a third man, okay? Start seeing him. We're walking each other to class, you know. All of a sudden, she starts joining us on our walks to class. I'm like, this is weird. Then she forces him to kiss her in front of me. And like, it was very obviously forced. You could tell like he didn't really want to do it, but he also didn't want it to be awkward. So he just kind of did it because she's like in his face, like grabbing him. Anyway, so I bitch him out about that, obviously. Okay. Now let's get to the ex-boyfriend of 6 years. We'll call him L, okay?
Me and Elle dating 6 years, okay? And sometimes, like, she would message me and be like, oh my gosh, y'all are so cute together. And then when I went to cosmetology school, she was like messaging me, trying to get me to do her hair. And like, then she starts dating all of his friends. So I'm still having to see her every now and then. Whatever. And like, I tell Elle like the whole story, why I don't really like her. I'm still cordial to her when I see her, you know, with his friends, because I'm like, you know, I don't want to make the situation awkward. I don't want to bring my drama into y'all's life. So I'm still cordial with her. And she's messaging me, y'all are so cute together, whatever. So me and my boyfriend of 6 years, we break up. We're still living together, but we break up. And he was like, I realized he was seeing someone. And so he was finally like, hey, like, do you want to know who I'm seeing? I'm like, yeah, sure. Because if it had been any other girl, I would have been happy for him because I was over the relationship. If it had been any other girl in this world, I would have been happy for him. But then he goes, it's this girl. I start maniacally laughing, and I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. He starts screaming at me, telling me how, like, all the ways in which she's better than me. Okay, all right. You'll figure it out for yourself, babe. So then I tell him, I was like, hey, because he starts asking to bring her over to the house. And mind you, this is my house that I own, that he's living in still. And so he starts asking to bring her over to the house. I'm like, okay, like, give me a little bit of time, because I really don't like this girl. So give me a little bit of time to just kind of... He starts sneaking her over while I'm at work. So I found out about that, and then have to kick him out, give him 30 days to leave. He does. So then they move in together immediately. As soon as I tell him to leave, they move in together. A homosexual, if you will. And start living together. And then they get married. Okay? And then now, like, they've been together probably over a year now, whatever. Married legally. But he'll, like, a couple months ago, he calls me, full-blown panic. He's like, yeah, I found out and me and him are still friendly, you know, whatever. But he calls me, he's like, I just found out she was cheating on me. I really hate to say I told you so. So anyway, I really hate that he's stuck in a miserable relationship, because he does genuinely deserve better. Like, we were a toxic relationship, but like, he does have good in him. He deserves much better than her. Anyway, yeah, that's my fun little story about how my ex-boyfriend of 6 years started dating my archenemy.
This one time I had matched with the same guy like 3 times on a dating app, and we had just never gone out. And so one night we were texting, and he was like, let's go out. And I was like, I'm out with my friends already. And he was like, oh, well, let me meet up with you guys. And usually I'd say no to this, but he was super close by, and I just kind of felt down with it. So I said, sure. He met up with us. We had one drink. It was fine. And he was like, do you want to get something to eat? And I said, sure. And so we went. And then on the way back, he was like, do you know how to drive a stick? And I said, no. And he was like, oh, well, I'm going to pull over and teach you right now. We were like on the freeway. It was like late at night. I was like, no, it's okay. And he was like, no, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you. I was like, no, really, it's okay. And he let it go eventually. But then he was like, I have to ask you a question. Do you do drugs? And I was like, no. And he goes, oh, well, I feel like I have to tell you that I smoke crystal meth. And I was like, oh. And then he was like, but it's not a problem, because if it was a problem, then I'd be hiding it. And if I was hiding it, I wouldn't be telling you about it right now. And I was like, yeah. And at this point I wanted to go home. So he was dropping me off. And as he was dropping me off, he was like, you know what, if you ever need a ride or anything, you can just call me, because I'm always up super late. And I was like, I'm sure you are.
Wait, that reminds me of a time that me and my dad went to like this.
Oh, you have a dad?
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. Oh.
Aww.
Oh my god.
I mean, you don't have to bring it up all the time.
So I normally do not get on TikTok and tell my business, but I just want y'all to let me know if I'm wrong in this situation. So I'm 24 years old and I work a full-time job, and I'm also a college student. I make pretty good money, and like, I don't ask my parents for anything at all because I make good money. I can take care of myself. Mind you, I've been taking care of myself since 18. But now I'm in my sophomore year of college, and so I'm starting to take the classes that are geared towards my major. So a class that I have specifically said that we cannot use the online version of Excel. We have to use the actual Excel app. So the computer that I have, which is a Chromebook, does not allow us to download Excel. So I needed a new laptop. So my dad called me on Saturday. He asked me what I was doing. I told him I'm looking for a new laptop. So then he gets to asking me, like, what's the budget? At first, I was reluctant to tell him because it's like, I already know you're not going to help. But he was like, if you want my help, you're going to answer these questions. So I get to telling him how much a budget is and my budget is. And so he's like, okay, well, we'll talk about it. So then he gets to telling me how he's on his way to take my brother to a college tour. And then he also tells me that my little sister is pregnant. So I'm like, okay, that don't have shit to do with me. So then the next day comes and he basically ghosts me, and I'm like, okay, so are you going to help me with a laptop? And he's like, do you need it today? And I'm like, well, school already started, so yeah, I do need it today. So basically he's like, he don't have the money for it. And I'm like, why would you even send a $600 laptop knowing that you can't even afford shit on it? Like, that don't even make sense. But I didn't say that. It was just like, I never asked you for anything, but you offered knowing that you had nothing to give. That just didn't make sense to me. Like, you only called me to be messy. That's what I felt like. You were only calling me to be messy. And I was like, let me just tell you how I really feel. I feel like you lack empathy because you know that the whole time I was in high school, you didn't help me with anything. You didn't take me on any college tours. You didn't even show up to my graduation. So you lack empathy. Empathy is minding what I say so that I don't offend the other person. So you telling me that you're taking your son on college tours, that's hurtful to me because you didn't do that for me. So even though I'm grown, that shit still hurts. And so I told him that, and he was basically like, I'm being disrespectful and he's gonna cut me off and I'm not gonna benefit from him. And I'm thinking, like, I take care of myself. There's nothing that you can take from me that I can't get myself. Like, and it's just like, motherfuckers hate when you tell the truth. The way people laugh when I say that I'm putting my dad in a nursing home needs to be studied. Because if you know me personally, you know that I don't just be talking. Everything that I say, I mean it. Like, seriously. I don't just yap just to be yapping. If I talk, it's some truth behind it. When I say he's going to a fucking nursing home, that's what I mean. I'm talking too fast because that's how bad he got me so motherfucking bad. I'm sending him to the nursing home on 2 motherfucking wheels. He can't go fast enough.